Hi everybody, this is Ellen. In this tutorial I'm going to show you how to make the happy orange. I think it turned out super cute. It's pretty round, which is about the best you can do with rubber bands sometimes. As you'll notice, this is it wouldn't technically be a growing up design, it would be a growing down, but we are going to just kind of let it grow up and then flip it at the end, which isn't too hard. It's hopefully easy for you to do now. I'm using the larger hooks, or you can do the threading band as well. Now I wanted to show you this one. This is neon orange from Rainbow Loom, the opaque bands, but this orange is the neon orange that was at Michael's, which is also a Rainbow Loom brand, but it's I guess just distributed by them. And I know that when I put these two together, this neon orange here, it almost looks brown now, so that's why I didn't show them both at first, but definitely bands kind of make a difference in the color choices of how it turns out, but I think that they're all fabulous, so just kind of might not put these right next to each other in a picture, but, well, I probably will, but hopefully people notice the difference when they watch the tutorial then. But anyways, we will get started. We're going to make the orange first, attach the leaf last, so we'll make the leaf later. For band counts, it's 220 orange, there's 36 for the stem and the leaf here, and then 1 to 3 black bands depending on if you use the 7mm pony beads for the eyes, and then the cheek bands. So we'll get started. And of course it is on one loom, so first we'll start with the eyes. So if you want to have the beaded eye bands, you're going to want to find a piece of wire or string, thread, floss, anything you can get into a V shape. Take whatever color you're going to use for your orange, thread them into the middle, close it up, and then you'll put it through your bead, like so. Remove your tool. So then you need 2 of these. Otherwise, if you're going to use a wrapped band for the eye, which you would just take whatever color you want for your eye, put it on your hook, wrap it around once into a figure 8, grab both ends, wrap them around again, and then take 2 bands, the color of your orange, and thread them through what's on your hook, and then you have a wrapped band eye band. So you need 2 of those as well. For the cheeks, they're made the same way as the eye bands. Whatever color you want your cheek, on the hook, wrap it around into a figure 8, grab both bands back on the hook, and then 2 bands pulled through the color of your orange. That. So then you need 2 cheeks. And it looks like I forgot to make my other one, so I'll make that real quick. So I'm ready to go too. Thought I was. So 2. So kind of put those aside for a second. And then back on the loom. And we are going to be working on 12 pins. I'm going to work kind of here in the middle. So 5 pins at the side and then into the center. And we're going to kind of work on a 12-pin design, but it's not going to be, not my, I guess I call it the kaleidoscope top, basically is what it turns out to be after it's all loomed out. But we're going to work starting from a pin. I'm kind of, it's like on the 7th pin up is where I'm starting from the middle here. 2 bands. We're going to just go like this, and then we're going to kind of go out in kind of a little starburst pattern. So from that same pin, 2 bands up to the next pin, and 2 more bands up to the next one. And we're going to do a long stretch from our center here up. 2 more bands. That one's kind of thick. Then we're just going to kind of come back down the other side to here. So a long stretch, and then 2 more right here. So it kind of looks like a little fan. But now we're going to repeat that from this, using this as our center pin. So we'll just do it down this way. So 2 bands. Everything in here is double banded, so I'll probably stop saying that after a while so it doesn't get annoying. But just repeat what we did up here, just the other way. So like that. So we just did the opposite on each end. So now we want 2 bands for the cap band, and I'm going to start up here on this one. So we want to wrap it around 3 times. So it's tight but not too tight. And then we're going to loom this out. So starting here in the middle where we put our cap band, to go through there and grab the first top 2 bands and pull them back towards themselves. And go back into the cap band, grab the next 2, pull them back, and keep doing that around for this whole side. Like so. So now we do need to stretch our cap band down to this pin. And before we do that, I'm going to take my hook, pull it in here, and just pull this down. Give it a little tug. It'll loosen up a little bit of this so that when you do pull this down, it should be easier. Because it is tight, there are a lot of bands trying to go through right in that center. So if you just give that a little tug, it helps make these stretch up here a little bit more. So, and then we'll do the same thing. We're going to go back into our cap band, grab the top 2 bands all the way around, and pull them back towards themselves. Like so. So then push all that down. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do a row around. So 2 bands, I'm going to start down here, just lay them across, and go all the way around our little circle here. Like so. And flip over. We're going to go and flip over the bottom 4. So all the bottom bands are going to go over the row we just put down. So you grab those and pull them over the top of the pin. And then let them go. And do that all the way around. So I did talk about that we're using the kind of the different side than what I normally use for my figures, but you just have to, I haven't stuffed any of mine, but if you want to, you may want to have that available when we get towards the end, some stuffing to use. So I think with just enough finagling of the bands you can figure out to get it into a rounder shape. So alright, so we're going to go back around again with another row, still 2 bands. Like so. Then do the same thing, flip the bottom 4. So I just released some other tutorials earlier and was having a very hard time with the fact that the YouTube app is apparently not allowing my videos to be played on there. Not sure why that's happening. They just had an update, and according to the website, it's having some issues and complaints about it. But it's not fixed, and tried to make sure everybody knew that they could watch it from a browser, but I felt really bad for those that kind of got turned away from watching it. That was very disappointing. So another row, same thing, 2 bands around. So I tried to post it everywhere that I could so that everybody could watch them, because one of them for sure was one that had been requested a lot, so I wanted to make sure. I was pretty excited about putting it out, and then to find out people can't see it, that was pretty frustrating. Because I like things to go smoothly. It's no fun when something's complicated, and then when it's out of your control, that makes it even worse. So I do apologize for those that it affected, and hopefully it'll be fixed soon. So same way, flip the bottom 4. So that's been on my mind, and like I said, I do apologize for that happening. It's very hard to contact YouTube at times, especially over the weekend, for an issue. And when you're not the only one having that issue, they get kind of busy. So okay, so push your bands down. Now we're going to do our eye row. So you'll want your eyes. I'm going to start down here, be 2 bands, and then do another 2 bands. Then right here we're going to put the eyes. So there's 1, and then we'll put the other one right next to it. And then all the way around with 2 bands. But I think that besides closing this guy, this might be one of the easier happy foods that I will have, I hope. I know I get do some really complicated ones at times, and a lot of people want to make them, but they need a little more practice yet before they can do them. And okay, so flip over the bottom 4 all the way around. And so I want to make sure that there are some that everybody can do without a whole lot of know-how beforehand. So I think this will be one of them, which will be good. Like so. And you notice I just keep pushing this down. If at any time it gets too tight for you to do the bands on here, you can go ahead and pop up some of the center bands, or however you want to do it. I can just pull the little center over like that. Or untuck your bands down here in the end, which is where a lot of the tension will come in. So you can do that. Remember, we are going to turn this, we want the other side on the outside, so just keep that in mind. You don't want to kind of pull it up too far, because it's easier to get out the loom if you don't go too crazy with it. So our next row is our cheek row. Same as the eye row basically, but it's 2 bands to start, and then 2 more. And then our cheeks will go right by the eyes. And then 2 bands all the way around the rest. Like that. Then we're going to flip over the bottom 4. I'm always really bad at gauging how tough a design is too. So by the time that I show people something, I've already redone it several times to get the one that I like. So it's always, by the time I show it, I think, oh, it's easy to me, but it wouldn't be easy to somebody who's just starting trying to do it. So it's always hard for me to tell you this one's the easiest or this one's the hardest. Alright, so we got the cheeks on. So now next comes our mouth. So whatever color you want for the mouth, on your hook, wrap it around once into that figure 8. And then right in front, between our cheek bands, they have these bands on the pin. You're going to hook them and pull them off. Slide your mouth band down, and then replace the bands back onto the pin. So it looks like that. So now we're going to do a row around with 2 bands. But I am always thankful when other people who are watching my things, or when somebody asks questions about things, I'm always very thankful that people will answer them if I haven't gotten to it, or things like that. So it's always nice to see people helping people. Like so. And we'll flip over the bottom 4. Push those down. I'll do another row. So 2 bands all the way around again. Like so. And again, flip the bottom 4. Like so. Alright, and one more row all the way around. So still 2 bands. All the way around. So I've noticed lately too that a lot of the other Rainbow Loom channels have started to branch out into other tutorials. Do-it-yourself stuff, and clay, and well, you know, TBA does the candy kits and things like that. Been wondering if I should do that as well. I haven't quite made up my mind yet because I keep myself pretty busy with the Rainbow Loom stuff. So like this. And the fact that most people are watching or have subscribed to my channel because of the fact that I do Rainbow Loom stuff, I certainly would not be giving up on that. Because that's what people are here for, so it'd be silly to stop doing it. But I just thought of there's other things that people would like to see from me, because a lot of a lot of times watching a channel has to do with the teacher doing it. I know I've wanted to watch things and learn how to do something, but I just couldn't get past the person doing it because it was either, I hate to say it, sometimes the voice or just how they present themselves or things like that, or not complete enough or whatever. So, I don't know, I'm thinking about it. Not sure yet. Alright, so that is the orange for the most part. Now we got to close it. So, like I said before, the latch hook works fabulous with it, although I wouldn't have a bunch of bands on it ahead of time. Or making a big long threading band, which we've made in made in a lot of my earlier tutorials. Big long threading band, which is a bunch of slip knots put together, and then weaving it in. I'm just going to use my Loom hook, which is a little bit riskier. So if you haven't done it before, I would recommend using the threading band or a longer hook, just because there isn't a whole lot of room on here. So I'm going to kind of start on the back away from the face, put my hook in, and I'm going to be holding on to the middle here as I go around, because as I start picking up bands, they'll start coming off and they'll start pulling to the shape, which is the outside, towards where I want to see it. I'll slide those down my hook. I actually saw my first picture of a broken hook. Oops. See, even I make boo-boos. But it's a save, thank goodness. Forgot some. Saw my picture of a first, and it actually had broken in the metal and not like the plastic joint, which I thought was crazy, because that could be really dangerous. So once you get it all on your hook, 2 bands, and I always put my hook down towards my project, and I pull the bands away and just start sliding it through. Make sure you keep your band that you're threading through tight on your finger, because you don't want it to come off of your hook that you're pulling through. And of course I always end up hooking a couple things I shouldn't, but so I'm kind of just working through a few at a time. Like I said, it's definitely riskier to do it this way. But I'm just kind of showing you that it can be done, because a lot of people don't have access to the larger hooks, or the threading band doesn't work for them. It's kind of just a matter of taking your time and a little bit of willpower. So looks like I got everything. And once you get all the way through, both ends on, if you want to stuff it, now would be the time. But then do a slip knot. I usually take it and squish it back out and squish it in half, both ways. Stretch it out, because I want the bands to kind of realize that they need to go a certain way before I close the bottom tight. So once you get that through, hide that slip knot, or hide your tail. In the inside. So now you can see it is not like this one yet. But I'm not going to worry about the shape until we finish the leaf. So put this aside for a second. So you want your loom back. We're going to lay our leaf shape So right side of the loom by the red arrow. First we're going to put one band from the center to the side, to the right. Then it's 2 bands. We're going to go up 1, and 2 more bands, go up 1 more, and then 2 more bands, a long stretch to the center, and then repeat that on the other side. So 1 band first, and then 2 bands, two more bands, and 2 bands. Back to the center. Then we're going to kind of fill up the insides, and these will just be single banded. So we're going to kind of make little arrows. So starting down here, do the center out to the left, center out and to the right, and just do that for the rest of the way up. Like so. And now we're going to do just a single chain up the center and stop there. So then single banded. Like that. And then our band at the end will be 2 bands just wrapped twice. Like that. So we'll turn this around. We'll go in through our cap band. We're going to grab that first top 1 band that's part of the single chain, and we're going to loom that up. To the beginning. Then we're going to go into those little kind of cap bands we made, loom out our filler bands for our leaf. Just pull them back towards themselves, all the way up. Like that. Then we're going to come back to our first cap band, grab the 2 bands that are on top, pull them back towards themselves, and just keep doing that up this side. Back up to the center. And come back to the cap band and do the other side. So like that. And I just pulled that off because I get excited sometimes, I guess. So now we'll come back to our orange. What I'm going to do is just go kind of kitty corner across the orange top. I want to make sure that I'm not getting under any of the bands that are around the outside. I just want the cap band on my hook. I'm going to start with 2 bands on the end of my hook. I'm going to double them and pull them through the top of the orange and back on my hook. Like that. Then we're going to do that one more time. 2 bands, double them, pull them through, and now we're going to get our leaf. So right here's our open point. I'm going to grab it, put my hook through it here, pull it off the loom, like so. I'll grab 2 more bands. We're going to double them as well. Oops. Got that leaf band in my way. 2 bands. And then double them. Yikes. And then pull them through everything on your hook. Back on the hook. Then we're going to do 2 more on the hook, doubled, pull through, and I did another set of 2, but of course you can kind of skip this one if you want. But it's 2 more bands, double it, pull it through, and then finally 1 band. I'm going to pull it through everything on my hook, do a slip knot, kind of pull it around the back before I pull it tight, and then this will get weaved down into the stem. I feel really like Butterfingers right now. Meaning my fingers won't do what they want me to do. I didn't mean like I felt like having a Butterfinger. I've never been a fan of those. My husband, on the other hand, likes them. Not my favorite. But just keep pulling it down until you get down to where you can pull it on into the inside of the orange. Stick my hook in through the back. Boop. There we go. So now, we'll have to do that fixing. If you didn't stuff it, then it's going to want to kind of be in weird shapes at places. So you have to take your hook, go in and pull it out and convince it that you want it to be round, and it should be round. It doesn't take a whole lot. A lot of times it's just stretching it in certain directions gets it to do more than And by the way, none of my designs that I've put out are just like a color change, so there's always something about them that's different that makes it unique to my stuff. I know some people ask me if my pumpkin was just my tomato was my pumpkin with a color change, and nope, it wasn't. So, or with the vertical stripes added, even that was, there's more to it than that. But little fiddling, and it will turn out looking fabulous, like a nice round orange should. So I think it looks pretty good. But I hope that you enjoy. That is neon orange, not brown. So I hope that you enjoy this tutorial. I hope that it's easier for you. Definitely with closing it, use a longer hook if you have one. That will definitely make it a little easier. Or using the threading band process. But I want to thank you for watching. I definitely appreciate it. I have more tutorials on the way. I have lots of different things that I need to get out, and gets busy with school and now homework and scouts and busy. So I have a lot more on the way. It's coming soon. Bear with me. But I want to thank you for watching. If you want to show me these, you can share them with me on my Instagram, which is at Crafting Fantastic, or on my Facebook page, which either Crafting Fantastic or feelinspiffy should find me. Otherwise, there's a link underneath the video in the description. And then, of course, subscribing to my channel so you know when I have more tutorials coming out. That would be fabulous. But thanks again, and I will have more for you soon. Happy looming.